Just close down the eyes and feel like your hands rest somewhere on your thighs or your knees. And just bring our awareness to feeling the sensation of the breath. It's like right from the get-go, we want to feel as though we're honing our awareness into what does the breath feel like? What is the texture, the rhythm, the pace? And it's remembering this really simple practice, like the breath is for the mind what the asana is for the body. As we move through the asana, we're opening up the channels in order to get the breath as deep as possible. So a lot of today's focus will be around actually initiating the breath before we initiate the movement. And that way we've spent the next hour together really focusing on the intention of our breath. Okay, so just take one more feeling breath. Feel the breath move through the side and the back of the body. And exhale to empty it out completely. And then crack your eyes open, remove any props that you might be using, and we'll come straight up to standing this morning. Okay, so we're going to start at the top of the mat. The feet will be about hip width apart. And we're going to bring the hands just to the bottom of the butt there, top of the hamstrings. And then as you inhale, feel the chest lift, the collarbones spread, heart wide open. And then slide your hands down the backs of the legs as you exhale. Let the back of the neck goes. Just feel that first one in the morning. Maybe it's a little less intense, and then come back up on the inhale with the hands sliding all the way up the legs. The chest is open, the collarbones spread. And then we go down again on the exhale. Just following the line of the legs all the way to the heels. Let the back of the neck go. Again, breath in to come up. Chest open. Keep the chin tucked under. And then fold again on the exhale. All the way down. Back of the neck relaxed. Come all the way up. Inhale, chest lifts, collarbones spread. And again, down on the exhale. And this time, once you're down, we're going to stay. So you can leave your hands on your heels there. If you want to rest your hands on the floor, that's fine. Feel for letting the back of the neck go so the head becomes really, really heavy. I'm actually going to stay here for 5 breaths, just feeling for a really even ratio of the breath. So as we breathe in for 4 or 5, same, we breathe out for 4 or 5. Really starting to notice where the breath does go when we take the breath in. There's certain areas of the body that feel a little bit more spacious. And as we move and we feel for creating all these different shapes today, the body will become more and more spacious, which ultimately gives us more room to breathe. Bringing the hands to the backs of the heels again. We come all the way up on the inhale. Chest lifts, collarbones spread. Just relaxing the arms down there on the exhale. So full feeling breath in. And completely breathe out. And we'll step the left foot back. So we're going to be in a warrior one position. If you need to modify, Melissa, this. Okay. And then we'll bring the right hand to the sacrum and the left arm will be up by the ear. Front leg straightens. So we take an inhale. Extending through the spine as you lengthen, fold, fold, fold over the exhale. So leg remains straight. Then from there, bend the right knee as you come up into warrior one. That's an inhale. We sink a little bit deeper on the exhale. Front leg straightens. That's an inhale. We go forward with a really long spine on the exhale. The front knee bends. We come up on an inhale. So back in the warrior one position and then deepen a little on the exhale. Then we inhale first. We start to straighten the front leg again. Exhale and then start to go forward. So the breath begins before the movement. We bend the front knee. We start to inhale and then we come up all the way into warrior one. We go a little bit deeper on the exhale. We'll do one more. So inhale, the front leg starts to straighten. Exhale and then begin to lengthen forward. Front knee bends first. We inhale and then start to rise. And then we exhale and deepen there into the pause. We pause for some time here in warrior one. So you want to feel a little bit of a leaning forward in the chest. It's not such a huge back bend. You want to feel like the back leg is just as anchored as the front. And then the breath is even, so there's no strain. Steady in, steady out. And the next breath in, that front leg starts to straighten again. See if you can lift a little more through the ribs. Start to exhale and then fold forward. So coming all the way over the front leg. So the right hand stays on the sacrum, left hand can reach to the floor or a block. And stay forward folding there in pyramid on the exhale, just a couple of breaths. So we're not so worried today about the asana necessarily, like sure we'll do some. But more that the breath is getting all of the awareness. So we're feeling really connected to the length of the breath in. I'm very aware of finishing the breath out. And then we start to breathe in and then begin to rise up. We lower the arm on the exhale and just step to the top of the mat. Super easy. Pause there a moment. It's always really interesting at 6:30 in the morning. And then we'll take the right foot back and the left foot is forward. So we're in like a pyramid setup again. So you don't want to go too long with your legs. I'm going to make it achievable. And then the left hand to the sacrum and the right arm goes by the ear. So let's initiate the inhale first. Start to exhale and then forward fold. We bend the front knee. This inhale starts first. And then we come up, warrior one. And go a little bit deeper there on the exhale. Again, we go inhale, the front leg starts to straighten. We go exhale to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Go all the way down. We bend the front knee. That's an inhale to come up, back into warrior one. Exhale to deepen. Front leg straightens. We come up on an inhale. And then go down super long on the exhale. So really feel spine extend. We bend the front knee first and start the inhale. We'll come all the way up. Deepen a little into the front leg on the exhale. Inhale, front leg starts to straighten. Exhale and then start to lengthen. Let's do one more. The front knee bends. That's an inhale. We come all the way to warrior one. Maybe a little deeper in the lunge there as you exhale and then hold that. So again, we don't want too much of a back bend in the warrior one. There's a little bit of a lean forward. And the bicep, right bicep, really close by right ear. And then just notice any tiny little quivers in the body, like this, like little micro movements that might be happening. So you can feel for stilling those movements. Even the blinking of the eyes. It's a steady breath in. Easy breath out. And the front leg straightens again as you inhale, lift up through the ribs. And then keep extending, extending forward as you exhale. So come all the way into the pyramid. Keep the right hand on the floor or a block and keep the left hand on the sacrum. And let's take an inhale halfway. And then fold forward over the leg as you exhale. The back of the neck stays long. The jaw and the eyes relaxed. And then initiating the inhale first, start to breathe in and then begin to rise. Pressing through that front leg, come all the way up. Lower the right arm down as you breathe out. And then step to the top of the mat, easy. With both arms by the side. Back of the neck long. And then step back and separate your feet so you're in a wide stance. Okay. Have a little pigeon toe with your feet so your toes turn in slightly and the heels are out. And then place both hands on the hips. Inhale, lift the chest up. And just like we did earlier, slide your hands down your hamstrings and come all the way down on the exhale. Take a halfway lift, inhale. It's a nice long spine. Fold forward again as you exhale. And then keeping your hands to the backs of the legs, come all the way back up on an inhale. Okay, so we're adding the breath now. Take a lengthening breath in to lift. We start to go forward on the exhale for 4, 2, 3, 4. Let's take a halfway inhale, draw a little bit more length. And then we fold again on the exhale. Come all the way up, inhale. Spine is long, chest lifts. This time exhale for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Fold again as you exhale. Come all the way up. Inhale. And this time down for 6 as you exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Take a halfway lift, inhale. Nice long spine. Keep the chin tucked under and then fold again as you exhale. Come all the way up on the inhale. And then do 2 more. So go down for 7 and then 8. See if you can work with that notion of starting the breath before the movement comes. So it's actually that we're being moved by our breath. And there's no rush at all, but once you get down after the 8 count, we'll stay in the forward fold for a little while. Okay, so hands can be on the floor here. You can have a block there underneath the palms if that's more comfortable. And then just take an inhale, lengthen the spine, get really long. That's it. Fold as you exhale. And feel for this. So you want to feel like the sit bones reach skyward. Maybe there's a slight bend in the knees. And then let the crown of the head lengthen forward. And now the breath we want to work with here is breathing in 4, out 8. Just that simple idea of extending the exhale brings us down into this really steady, calm, easeful place. So the next breath in, you start the breath first. Slowly pressing up as you come all the way. Keep the chin tucked under and the neck long. And just let the arms rest by the side there. Pause for a moment. So you can get that sense of the energy moving from the head all the way down through the legs. And then from there, we'll step to the top of the mat. You might need your blocks nearby for this one. Just have them just in case. We're coming back to pyramid. So with pyramid, we don't want to be like over ambitious. Legs about 3 feet long, if that. Feet are hip width laterally. And then bring the left hand to the sacrum and clasp it with your right hand. You're going to inhale, lift the chest up again, get really long, and then just like we did, extend forward and fold on an exhale. And if the hands clasp option is just really, really intense for you, there's always the option to just pop your hands on a block, no worries. We're feeling in again for the usual suspects. So the legs and the feet are active. Spine is as long as we can make it. Even if we need to bend the knees, that's fine. And the back of the neck is long, so there's a slight tuck at the chin. And same, just that really steady ratio of in for 4 or 5 and out for 4 or 5. Make everything about your awareness to the breath, like over and over. And next breath, we come all the way up on an inhale. Use the legs, keep the chin tucked. Unclasp the hands, step to the top of the mat as you exhale. Just pause a moment. And then change sides. So simple, take the right foot back, not too deep. This time, the left hand clasps the right. Is that right? Or the right hand clasps the left? Whatever we didn't do on the other side. And then inhale, lift the chest up, get really long. Same thing here, guys, like press through both heels, feel the stability in the legs. But don't make it about the legs, like the spine is where we want all of the length. If you need to bend the knees, no worries. If you need blocks, no worries. But every bit of prana that we're juicing is going through the channels of the spine. And it cleanses not just the physical tension, but anything energetically muddy in that place. And again, we just want steady, even breaths. Next breath in, come all the way up. Oh. Step to the top of the mat as you exhale. Release both hands. It's so different doing these practices like early in the morning before we've moved anything. Like it's like the truest form of practice, in my opinion. All the creaks and the groans. Alrighty. So we're at the top of the mat. Feet can be together or apart. It depends on your back. So if it hurts your back, keep them wider. I'm just going to inhale the arms up, legs are straight, and sink down into chair pose. Doesn't have to be your personal best chair pose, but just enough to feel like there's a little bit of heat building through the back line of the body, into the quads. And most of that, the gaze is fixed. So take your awareness straight forward, not down, not up. Let the gaze be soft and steady. Try and keep the eyes super, super still. And then that 1-to-1 ratio of the breath. And next breath in, straighten the legs, come all the way up. Lower the arms down again, like you're moving the energy down on the breath out. Okay, and then step the left foot back and we'll come into a warrior two position. So again, Melissa, if you want to do a modify, it's just that. Take the arms out with the palms upward facing. And feel for tracking your front thigh forward. So have a gaze down at your knee. See that it's not tracking too far into the midline or too far out. And then with the palms upward facing, you can let the shoulders relax a little bit. Inhale through the side rib cage. Feel a little bit of lift up through the side there as you let the shoulders soften more. Like really easy. And then the next breath in, we start to straighten the front leg. Lower the arms down, bring your feet parallel. Take an inhale there. Exhale completely. And change sides, so really simple. Just take the left foot forward. You might want to bring that right foot in a little bit so that foot's at more of an angle. And then take the palms upward facing, so again, the elbows bent. Feel for this here. So you want, maybe even with your eyes closed, we want to place ourselves in the very center of the pose. So we're not leaning really far into the front leg, which is the future. And we're not hanging out too far in the back leg, which is the past. And we're intentionally placing ourselves right in the center of the pose, which is right here. Once you feel like you've got that, then bring the breath back. Stay with a steady breath in. Very steady breath out. And then the next breath in, straighten the front leg. That's an inhale. Lower the arms down on the exhale. Parallel the feet again. So you're in a wide stance. Again, guys, you might want your blocks nearby for this one. We're going to inhale the arms out. And then as you exhale, the left hand is going to come to the floor or a block. Now you can bend the right knee as much as you need to here. But what we're going to do is we're going to take the right arm overhead. So you're like reaching towards the middle of the room. And then as you exhale, you'll take it parallel. So it's straight up to the ceiling. So we go inhale to extend. Feel for lots and lots of space. And then exhale, take it up. And do 3 more like that. So your inhale is a real like length through the right side. And the exhale lets you twist more through the navel. 2 more. And finish the exhale where the arm is vertical and pause there. And feel like the right side of your neck is relaxed. That's it, Anne. Good job. And again, it's just that little micro movement. So as you breathe in, the spine gets longer, like feel the length. And then as you breathe out, feel for the twist around through the navel. Okay, on your next breath in, come all the way up. And go down with the right hand on the breath out. So it's the same thing here. We inhale, the left arm lengthens forward. We feel the left ribs lengthen. And the exhale takes the left arm back. So try now, breathe in first and then make the movement. That's it. Breathe out first and then make the movement back. So take yourself through 3 more of those. Get maximum breath in. Maximum breath out. But letting the breath begin before you move. That's it. And the final one you'll hold with the left arm extended skyward. You might have a bend in the left knee. I quite like that. Doesn't need to be straight. But again, feel when you breathe in like the crown of the head moves forward and that draws length in the spine. And then when you breathe out, the navel twists. Nothing else needs to move. Okay, my friends, on the next breath in, draw yourself all the way up. That's it. Lower the arms all the way down. Step to the top of the mat. This time, feet about hip width. We'll inhale the arms up. Get lots of length through the side and then fold forward as you exhale. You can either grab your big toes, you can put palms under your feet, and have hands on a block. But again, we inhale to lengthen, chin is tucked. And folding forward on the exhale. Feels probably a lot different than half an hour ago, hopefully. And the breath ratio is in 4, out 8. So to make this super simple, that's the only thing you need to think about. It's very, very repetitive. Like we count 4 in, we count 4, 8. Just become aware of what happens to the fluctuations in the mind when we anchor on this is simple focus. Next breath in, release the hands and step to down dog on the breath out. Let's make this down dog really strong. So feel first of all as you breathe in for spreading through the palms. And a little bit like you want to draw the palms to the center of the mat. They don't move, but there's an engagement there through the midline. Slight bend in the knees. Deep feeling breath through the side rib cage. Without moving the arms, lengthen the ribs up. Okay. 3 deep quality breaths here. And take a final inhale. Lower the knees on exhale and come to child's pose. You can take the knees wide or narrow. Just let your forehead rest there on the floor. Pause to feel what's changed. And then make your way back up on the next breath in. You might want to watch this first. I think I've done it with you guys before, but just in case. So it's like we're making a Z shape with the body. Okay. So the shins are right behind, the legs come back so that they're at like maybe a 40-degree angle, and then the arms, they're just out the front at shoulder height. Okay. So this will get your thighs, it will get your butt, but I also want you guys to feel it in the lower belly. So you want to lengthen the tailbone down. Okay. Let's take the arms out, inhale. And then we go back on the exhale and feel for the length through the tailbone, which will engage the butt. The arms are parallel to the floor, so they might need to lower a little. And the gaze is super soft. It's fixed. Eyes aren't moving. Breath is steady. And then final breath in, come up, lower the arms down and go back to hips to heels, eyes closed. And then you guys might want to watch this one actually. It's not super complicated, but it might help to see it. So we'll be on the back, we'll shift the pelvis over, the left leg will extend and the right leg will reach up. This will be an inhale with the leg extended, and we'll just take it over on the exhale. So you don't want to go all the way, we're just going to keep it hovering. We'll do that a few times, and then eventually we'll take it so that the leg is hovering. And then we'll inhale there with the foot as it is. But as you exhale, you're going to try and externally rotate the foot. So it's like you're trying to turn the toes up towards the ceiling. So we'll go inhale and then exhale to externally rotate. All right. It's like a dental floss for your hip joints, which is amazing in the morning or always. So let's start with the knees bent, the feet flat, and you can just shift the pelvis over to the right. Just give yourself a bit of a better chance, and then let the left leg extend to the bottom of the mat. We'll take the right leg up on the inhale. I like arms out to shoulder height, but you do what works. And then we'll take that left leg over to the left on an exhale, so just hovering it. Yep, that's right, Melissa.
Oh, this one? No.
That way, yeah, that's right. Hovering it, don't need to touch the floor, and then we come back on an inhale. And then we go over again on the exhale. This is really good for like all the internal organs as well. It gets like the stuff moving through the colon, helps elimination. Okay, let's just do 2 more. So we're bringing the leg up. We'll go over on the breath out. Last one. Okay. And once we get over, so you're still hovering the right leg, and it's like you're pressing a little bit through the heel. We take an inhale there, and then try to rotate your toes up towards the ceiling on an exhale. So it's that little flossing movement. So the leg stays still, it's just the foot moving. Take an inhale, and then twisting the toes up towards the ceiling on an exhale. The inhale, the leg stays exactly as it is, no movement through the leg, just the toes twist up on the exhale. So Melissa, watch me. So you go inhale, exhale. That's it. It's a really micro movement, but what it does is it starts to just melt any of the fascial tension in really deep in the hip joint. Particularly first thing in the morning, it's a really sticky place. Okay. We'll come all the way up on the next breath in, bring the leg all the way up. And lower the leg down on the breath out. So you've got both legs extended long on the mat there. You can probably pause and feel like one leg feels like it's really alive and the other's just like a dead weight. So we'll change sides, so bend the knees, feet flat. We shift the pelvis over to the left, extend the right leg to the bottom of the mat and take the left leg up. Do what you need to with your arms. We take an inhale and then we take the leg over to the right on the exhale. We come back again, inhale. And over to the right on an exhale. Let's do 3 more. Maybe you can work with that breath before movement idea. And when you get over to the right again, we'll pause there. So the left leg hovers. We take an inhale. And then we just move the toes up towards the ceiling on an exhale. So it's like you're twisting the bone of your thigh in your hip joint, in the socket. So that anything that's sticky or a bit funky in there gets the benefit of this movement. It's always on the exhale that the toes twist up. Good job. And bringing the left leg up on the next breath in. Extending both legs down on the breath out. Just pause for a moment there to feel the tingling sensation of feeling through the whole of the pelvis, hopefully. And then rolling onto one side, come all the way over onto your tummy. And set up for what looks like cobra. So you're going to have your hands on the floor, set in a cobra position. Okay. And then we'll keep the hands on the floor. Inhale, lift the chest and the legs. And then exhale, lower. So we go again, inhale, the chest and the thighs lift. And we exhale, lower. Two more. So inhale, the hands stay on the floor, the chest lifts, the thighs lift. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale, chest lift, thighs lift. And this time, keep the thighs lifted. Inhale, open the legs as wide as you can. And then exhale, close them so the knees touch. So we go inhale, legs spread wide. Exhale, bring the legs together, knees touch. We've got 5 more. So inhale, chest is lifted. Exhale, legs squeeze. 4 more. Skin spreading the legs on the breath in. Squeezing them together on the breath out. Take yourself through 3 more. Okay. If it's really, really intense for your back, you can do it with the legs on the floor, but we're essentially massaging the tummy. Anything that's stuck in the abdomen area, a really good pose for that. Okay, 1 more. Big breath. Squeeze together on the breath out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then release. Head on the floor. Take a moment. It's a spicy one. Feel that little bit of heat there in the lower back and the kidneys. And then press on back up and come to like kneeling on all 2s. I'm just going to release the back a little bit before we really wind down. So inhale, take the arms up. As you exhale, bring them to the sacrum and let the forehead touch the floor. So again, we come up, inhale. And go forward on the exhale. Do 3 more like that. Again, the breath in, that's it. Keep the spine lengthening as you breathe out. And last one, come all the way up. This time, just sink your hips to your heels as you breathe out. And take the legs forward. Recline all the way down onto your back again. take the legs straight up. Now you guys have got many options here. So you can hold the back of the thighs, the calves. If you can, grab the big toes, bring the legs in. So it's like we're doing a reclined forward fold on our back. The chin's still tucked, so the back of the neck stays long. And the tailbone lengthens to the bottom of the mat. So you want to feel like you can imprint the spine actually on the floor. And from there, release knees into the chest. Come on up to seated again. Into a little dandasana motion. So the hands are firmly on the floor. So if you can't reach, which mine don't, sometimes fingertips helps. We just want to feel the back of the spine really extended. Crown of the head reaches skyward. Sit bones plugged down. And then from there, bring the sole of the right foot inside the left leg. Okay. We'll inhale, the arms come up. We extend into Janu as you lengthen forward. So again, don't worry if the hands don't reach the feet, no probs. They can rest on the floor. Take an inhale halfway, lengthen. And then fold forward on the exhale. Chin is tucked. Stay down for a couple of feeling breaths there, particularly through the back of the body. And then pressing through the legs as you come up on an inhale. Lower hands to the knees as you exhale. Pause there. And then changing sides, same. So as you inhale, the arms come up. We want to draw length, so we're trying to feel the spine extend, extend, extend. Take a halfway inhale. And then we fold again on the exhale. Some less about the legs again. You can bend the knees if you need. Try and feel maximum length in the spine. And then the next breath in, we come all the way up, 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 up. Hands to the knees on the breath out. And from there, swing yourselves around, come down onto your back, draw the knees into the chest. Maybe a little release of the back there in the way that you need to. And then settle in for final rest. Shavasana. There's an option to take legs up the wall if you need that. What? Legs up the wall. Oh, yeah. And essentially what we're doing in Shavasana is we're allowing the energy currents to pulse through the body, the prana. The whole point of the practice, really. And the prana nurtures and weaves and works its way through any areas of the body that need help and support physically, but also energetically. So in short, this is the time where you do nothing at all. Yeah, remember your breath. Start to feel for breathing awareness back through the body. Take time to transition to one side. Eventually come into seated, just letting the hands rest easy at the heart there. So we've laid the foundations in two ways this morning. Firstly, with the breath, that remember that anchors the mind. And secondly, with the quality of energy, like the calm, stable, steady. And we've set ourselves in the best way possible for the rest of the day. So now we take that with us as we continue. We take a deep breath in together. Full breath out together. And we bow, we say namaste. Namaste, my friends.
Gracias.
Namaste, namaste. Nice and shiny there, Anne.